Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. Azar Salesman.
We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
They're just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away.
It smells like wet dog. We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. They're just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away. So stay woke, stay fresh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point and Click Podcast. My name is John the Wise, and I have with me Czar Salisbury Steak.
Hey, boys and girls.
Hey, e-boys and e-girls out there. I really don't like that term, by the way, e-girl. Because
E-girl?
I kind of get it. It means, like, you know, any kind of, like, Twitch or Instagram hoe or what is it?
Right.
I don't even know what it means. Does it mean all those things?
No, I don't know what you would exactly say it means. It simply means a girl on the internet, pretty much. You know what I mean?
A girl with breastises on the internet?
Yeah, internet slut or something like that. It's just a term to deface women on the internet.
Wow. That's terrible. You know, we need to do something about this toxic masculinity. There needs to be a company out there that needs to make a stand against this toxic masculinity, and I hope it's a razor company. No one's ever said that, dude. No one ever said.
I think, yeah, our corporate overlords should be preaching to us in their advertisement.
Yeah. You know what? It's like, we're getting right into it. Hope you guys had a great week. But that Gillette ad really left a bad taste in our mouth. And, you know, I don't know anything about Gillette because, as you can see, I don't shave. But,
Never saved a day in his life.
I did used to. Actually, they make good razors, but we didn't need them to, like, yell at us, you know? They yelled at us.
I don't know if they yelled at us, John.
It's the same thing. It's like they scolded us, dude, for being men.
They made a preachy... what's the word? Activist marketing is what it's referred to.
Yeah, which I actually was listening to this talk show, and they were talking about how they used the Martin Luther King speech, like a recording of Martin Luther King for like a Dodge truck ad, and it's like, dude, that's such poor taste.
Anything activist marketing in general is both in poor taste. And it's just ridiculous because it's these companies that are trying to sell a product. That's all they care about is the money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So they're simply co-opting anything that they would have in their activist marketing in order to try to sell to people that might align with whatever topic they're pushing in their ad.
Yeah, they're like, what's the hot button issue right now? Toxic masculinity. All right, we need to take a stand because you know what? This is like tinfoil hat, but just I'm putting it on right now, and this is just from my experience. But my wife likes when I was shaving, she liked my razors way more than she liked the female version of razors for some reason. Men's razors were like best for shaving her legs, apparently.
Right.
I don't understand.
Well, I mean, especially something like this. I mean, we can start at baseline of everyone understanding. Gillette as a company doesn't actually give a shit about social issues.
Yeah, no.
Like, the company does not even give a shit about whatever they talked about in this ad. It's
no.
Activist marketing trying to tap into, hey, look, younger audiences are now more and more, liberal, or, these conversations are coming up more and more. and they want to start making sure that they are on the minds of the younger men that are coming into, manhood and shaving. So this is stuff like this is an attempt to hit the youth with your product.
Oh, so
activist marketing.
So they're trying to get the 18 to 34 demographic.
Right, they're just trying to get the younger demographic at this point. Really, they know that to a lot of people that it's going to seem preachy because it is. It's a horrible preachy ad.
Terrible ad.
But I think the entire point is to speak to the younger audience. It's like, oh yeah, these are social issues we deal with. Glad, because they don't really think about it past that. Glad Gillette's pointing it out. Yeah. Gillette doesn't fucking give a shit. You can go and look at all of their razors. They have their entire razor stock is split gender wise.
Yeah.
They have men's razors and Venus women's razors.
Yeah.
They have, for no good reason, an identical, and I linked you the product. There are two identical products. The exact same razor. One's pink and one's blue. The pink one's labeled Daisy. And that's it. I mean, like, they are the exact same razor.
Yeah,
same price, exact same price, exact same number of disposable razors, but one's pink and called Daisy.
And it's called Sensor too, like it's like computer, like fucking technological. Exactly. And then the other one's like, it's a flower. Could you be more fucking, they blue and
razor
pink
companies,
too.
especially, any self-care product really, shampoo, face wash, razors, all of these companies are really bad with their gendered marketing.
Yeah.
And so it just comes off even more false when you have a company like that, Gillette, who, I mean, they even admit it to like the best a man can get. They still want that slogan. So their marketing is still super gendered, but they want to also push this idea of like, toxic masculinity and stuff like that.
Look at this old ad from Gillette right here.
Right.
Gillette must have fired their old marketing team. This was at like what we're looking at is a bunch of beautiful women in skin tight suits. I think this is like a NASCAR event.
It's 100% a racing event.
Yeah.
No way there's women like that walking around at anything but a racing event.
And on all their asses, it says Gillette. And they're all looking back like, hey, look at my ass. Gillette, the best a man can get. The best you can get is this ass. So this is from I don't even know, 2011 or something. Someone's asking.
It's probably an older ad, so you can always give them leeway with that, is what people will say.
Yeah, April 2011.
Which is why I simply brought up current product line. It's like you can look directly and see that they don't.
Yeah, this is
if you wanted to, especially as a razor company, if you wanted to make some sort of social stance that actually meant something, you would stop having your products gender oriented, because what's the difference between a man's and a women's razor? You could start maybe saying, oh, this razor is specifically designed for your face and this one's specifically designed for other parts of your body. Right?
Yeah, I would have been. Yeah, exactly.
They do that design choice and they say, this is the women's razor. It's designed for other parts of your body. The men's razor is designed for your face.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, if they actually wanted to do something, they'd be changing their actual product, not just activist marketing.
That is interesting. A unisex razor and a commercial saying, we don't care who you are, where you're from, like the Backstreet Boys song. And and fucking just make a regular razor for everybody is what they should have done, really.
And on top of that, too, you have there's nothing going through the commercial, which I've done several times. There's nothing necessarily wrong with what the commercial's saying in itself. At certain points,
toxic masculinity exists, dude. It's for real.
I have a point to make on that too that I don't like. But like, the biggest issue that I had with the ad was maybe the roughhousing. It's like, boys will roughhouse. Like, it didn't make it. What if they wanted to make? I think the point they were trying to make was that violence isn't a way to, like, solve conflict, which is what they should be teaching men. Except for that instance didn't really show that. It seemed like two boys roughhousing.
Yeah,
I think that they should have had a conflict shown that the boys had, and then one wrestling on the other one. Instead, it just seemed like two boys wrestling, and I'm like, I did that growing up with my brother. I still do that with my brother.
Yeah,
as a full-grown adult.
And not only that, it also depicted all the men just watching, saying "boys will be boys" in unison, like there's mindless zombies. And then the one dad that went to go separate them, it made it seem like he's the pussy, like, oh, what a pussy. He's separating those kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it came off a little strange, especially with the, again, framing. If you had a bunch of women in a hair salon under hair dryers being catty, the ad would be described as sexist.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have a bunch of men standing around grilling, like, that's not stereotyping or sexist at all, of course.
We're looking at a still. If you guys are listening to the podcast, we're looking at a still from the ad, which is, by the way, called a short film. It's not called an ad.
Of course, short film.
Fucking,
it's not an ad.
And you can see the three dads in the back disapproving. I don't know if they're disapproving at the kids or at the dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just strange because boys roughhousing with each other, it's all a part of just growing up, you know? That's all.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just...
Now, another thing that would be okay is because the big issue with the boys will be boys mentality, or, saying or whatever, is that it's used later in, like, it transcends just young boys being rough and wild. It goes into later on in life, which is used to excuse other male behavior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is what people really have an issue with the boys will be boys. So if they had some sort of parallel of, like, they had this of everyone saying boys will be boys, and then something else happened, like, as adults with other bad behavior, and then people shrugged it off as boys will be boys, that would show better what they're trying to say, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. It's just like the boys will be boys thing is not an excuse for, men to be violent. That's not what it means. Like, that's what they're misconstruing it as, Yeah,
like, but I think they're just, but there are people that will use that excuse. Like,
yeah, of course.
It's just, men are just that way. That's just how men are. They're violent, stuff like that. They're, boys will be boys.
Listen, the right thing to do when you see two kids fighting, like, I have a boy, so I'm going to go through this eventually. And if I see Donnie fighting with another kid, I'm obviously going to go and break it up immediately. I'm not going to be like, let's see if Donnie wins. I'm not going to fucking
let's see how
do
this
that.
Plays out.
I'm going to break it up, and I'm going to say, hey, what's going on, guys? Like, why are you... I'm going to try... And then I'm going to try to help them resolve the issue, Right. And if they want to fight, if they're like, hey, we just want to fight, I'll tell them, okay, we'll do it in a supervised setting. You guys can, put on gloves, whatever we need to do to make it safe. That's how, dude, guys, anytime I've had a fist fight with somebody, after that, we become friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if it was especially in a safe environment, you put on some gloves, you go into a boxing ring, and there's a rule set. Now it's not just a fight, it's a competition, and you grow in competition, You learn about stuff like that. And play wrestling and stuff. If I see them and I break them up and they're like, oh, we're just messing around, I'll say, okay, just be careful. That's it. And then I'll let them do their thing. Because I just want to make sure there's no hate behind it. Right. That's why I'm breaking it up. I'm breaking it up because I want to know if there's hate behind it or not. If there's, revenge or something going on, bullying. But if it's just two boys messing around because, they watch Ninja Turtles and they watch all these action movies and Avengers and stuff like that, and they just want to emulate it. That's it. That's all it is. If that's what it is, it's innocent, And that's what boys will be boys means. Boys are just emulating what they see. They see all these badass superheroes doing cool karate moves and stuff like that, and they want to try it out on each other to see if they're as cool. They want to be as cool as them, But if they're having a fight, if I see Donnie, punching some kid in the face while he's on the ground, I'm not gonna go like, yeah, hell yeah, my boy's beating up that kid. No, I'll be embarrassed. I'll be like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're just beating up a little kid. Like, what's going on here? I have to know the whole story. You know what I mean?
Right.
But this Gillette ad doesn't cover that nuance.
Right. The other thing, of course, the Gillette ad does, which is pretty much what all of this, like, activist stuff does around anything about social sexism or gender roles, is that it tried to make bullying a male issue.
I know, dude. For real. Like women don't bully.
Right. I'd argue they bully just as much, if not more. It tried to make a lot of the stuff gendered issues. Bullying, that's a gendered issue. Boys will be boys. Oh, that's a gendered issue. Except for, wait a minute, I didn't realize that men are the only ones that raise boys in this country.
Straight up. Straight up, dude.
It's not a gendered issue, it's a societal issue. It's not on the onus of just men to deal with these things. Just like, a lot of the feminist narrative talking points, which again, toxic masculinity is, it became onus was on men to be better, or the onus was on men to stop enforcing sexist ideals within society, ignoring the fact that it was society as a whole, which means both men and women. It's not a gendered issue. But of course, that other brings me to the other point was when it happened to women, these forced societal gender roles or expectations, it was called sexism, misogyny, patriarchy, stuff like that. These are things done to women, right? But when society has done the exact same thing to men, which is what toxic masculinity is trying to show, hey, these are things society is forced on men, their gender role, stuff like that. It's bad to cry, violence isn't, all this kind of stuff. When they started talking about men's issue that society has pushed on them, it's toxic masculinity. It's not sexism anymore. It's not something society has enforced on men. It's now toxic masculinity. The framing of that is important because it, one, puts the onus again on men, whereas when they talked about women, the onus was on society.
Yeah. So basically,
now the onus is on men, and the entire wording and framing of toxic masculinity is one that is men do it. The first one was society does it to women. Something's happening to women. And the other toxic masculinity is framed so that it's men are doing this to society. It's either innate, that it's trying, the philosophy behind the idea of toxic masculinity is not wrong.
No, it's not.
But the framing of it is. When you use the term toxic masculinity, it was chosen very carefully, I'm sure, because words mean something. Toxic masculinity, it's designed for you to conflate the two, toxicity and masculinity. It's going to happen.
It's true.
That's how words and people work.
It makes it seem like there is no masculinity without toxicity. That's what it seems like. Like you cannot be a man without being a toxic man.
Right, which is the entire problem with that framing and naming of the issue with men's issues within society and their forced gender role. Is people decided to frame it as toxic masculinity rather than saying, hey, society has pushed this on men. It's also, it's sexism, just the same way that it's when society has done it to women.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man, it's a crazy situation. The Agent X is saying, honestly, growing up through school, the female bullying I saw generally was way worse. And I've seen it before. I've seen groups of women bully a male student, make fun of him and stuff like that. For whatever reason. Maybe it has to do with like the size of his penis or something, like they saw something and they made fun of him or whatever it was. I've seen it in school too. And bullying in general is fucked up, so for us to say that only men do it and men are the reason behind it, and it's the masculinity, and it's men's
responsibility to stop it, and it's innate in men need to be fixed. Boys are a problem that need to be fixed.
Any negative thing that happens to women is toxic masculinity, or any negative thing that happens to women is society talking about how women are the victim. But when it comes to toxic masculinity, it's about, hey,
men are the perpetrators.
Men are the perpetrators. You guys all need to change. And Gillette is saying we're taking a stand, and we're gonna be one of the ones that are not going forward with this anymore. We're drawing a line in the sand, and we're the number one. You Gillette, a best a man can get. All right, so they're like, we're on men's team, and we're here to tell all men that it's time to change. That's what they're saying, But their reasoning is just so ridiculous, dude. Like this part in the ad that really bothered me, which I'll tell you, so I got an argument with some guy on Twitter over it. What you're seeing is an attractive woman walking by, and there's two guys hanging out by a wall, which is really weird, by the way. They just hang out by a wall and look at people walk by. But anyway, they're hanging out by a wall. It's a black dude and a white dude, of course. The white dude is about to go and talk to that girl, all right? He was about to go and just say something to her. It did look like he was gonna maybe say it in a creepy way, but we don't know.
I mean, he does the whole Johnny Bravo thing.
He's like,
whatever,
"Hey,
but...
mama," and his black friend comes and stops him and goes like, "Hey, man, don't do that." So what this
don't
ad
approach women.
What this shows is don't approach women because it's wrong. That's what it's saying. Some guy got in an argument with me on Twitter saying like, "Dude, this has to do with catcalling," and I'm like, "He's not catcalling though."
If it had to do with catcalling, he would have catcalled.
Exactly.
And the other guy would have told him to stop.
Yeah.
This has now. I will give them leniency here. Walking up to random women on the street is fucking weird.
Just talking to a woman on the street?
It's randomly going and trying to pick up a woman you saw passing by on the street is weird.
It is weird, but it's
weird.
But it's a delicate thing. Like you can do it in a respectful way. There is a way to do it.
I'd be hard pressed to agree with that, but I'll let you go.
Well, here, let me tell you this. When you go up to someone and you ask them the time, or you ask them, for directions, you need to, if you have that same tone when you approach a woman, and that same idea where it's innocent. It's just like, hey, I just want to come and talk to you. If you don't want to talk to me, that's okay. We'll continue with our life. That's
Right.
the correct way to do it. Instead of teaching men, hey, it's okay to approach a woman, but you have to come with respect, patience, and with good intentions. You know what I mean? That's instead of teaching men that or talking about how that is possible, they're talking about how, hey man, if you see a woman on the street, don't even talk to her, because if you do, you're a toxic man. That's what you are. You're ruining her life. And listen, man, I grew up, I would never watch TV with my buddies and be like, damn, look at that girl's ass. Damn, look at those titties, dude. I just want to bury my head in those titties. I had friends that would say shit like that. You know what I mean? They'd see a girl, they would catcall them, say, hey, mama, let me get those digits, shit like that. I never in my life did that because I thought that was the most disrespectful thing to do. And I didn't need a Gillette ad to show me that, That's just how I was raised. That's how I grew up. And anytime I ever approached a woman, it was just in a friendly way, like just to talk to him. Because I'm attracted. If I was ever attracted to him, I just want to talk to him, see if there's a chance. You know what I mean? And what this ad is showing is just don't even approach women at all. And I'm telling you that women don't want that either. They want guys to approach them, but they just want them to come in the correct manner, because there's a lot of shit that women have to think about when they're out in the public, dude. I've never once felt like, damn, am I going to get raped? Am I going to get assaulted? Like, those are like thoughts that women think, even if it's irrational.
I was about to say, I have a lot to say about that because it's irrational.
Even if most of the time it's irrational, sometimes the fear is still there. I mean, we don't even...
The fear is there, but it's society has pushed the fear onto women because statistically it's so unlikely.
Of course.
Statistically, as a man walking back at night to his car alone in the dark, statistically, you are so much more likely to be a victim than a woman ever is.
Well, listen to this. If you're a woman and you call an Uber or something, you get in the car, it's a dude driving, you sit in the back seat, you're on your phone, he looks in the mirror and he says, wow, you're beautiful. Now, automatically, it's red flags in a woman's heart,
Right. No, absolutely.
That's what I'm
There's
saying.
something else that they have to watch out for.
Now, that's when the irrational thoughts start coming in. It's like, okay, what is this guy going to do? Like, is he going to... And that never happens to men. It just doesn't, Right.
I guess it'd be more that, I'm not saying that women shouldn't be worried or that, that fear shouldn't be there. It should be. The problem is that it should also be there for men, because we're told that nothing ever bad is going to happen to men.
But it's just the fact of the matter is, like, no girl's going to rape me, dude. It's not going to happen.
Unlikely.
You know what I mean? It's so unlikely. It can happen, of course. You can drug me, take, stuff like that, and something like that can happen. It's more extravagant. But for a girl, it's a lot easier. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes, 100%.
So they have to worry about that, which I get it. So whenever a guy comes and approaches them in public and comes in aggressive, there's a million things going through their head. Like, what the fuck is about to go on?
Who
right
is
now?
this? Does he have a weapon? Is he gonna try to take me?
Exactly. But if you come correctly, which men that are raised well, that are raised by mothers that are cognizant of this, fathers that are cognizant of this, and they tell them, hey, you know, when you come up to somebody, you approach them the correct way. They're taught these lessons. They can have successful social interactions where both parties are happy with the social interaction and they walk away with it happy. Even if the woman says I'm not interested and the guy says like okay, cool, you know, and just walks away, they both came out with a positive thing there because no one got hurt, no one, you know, nothing bad happened, nothing negative, no fear, nothing like that. It was just a human being talking to another human being. But that nuance is not here in this ad, and that's what I was upset about. So the guy on Twitter was like, "Oh, they're obviously talking about catcalling. Do you not understand how bad
no, because
it's like
they would have had catcalling in the video if it was about catcalling.
Yeah, why not do that instead of just like doing a general umbrella? Because you know why? Because they wanted to make it so general that everybody would agree with them on that side of the subject. Be like, yeah, walking up to a woman, oh, everyone's filling in the blanks on what this guy is about to do to this girl, right? So his friend stopping him, which by the way, I've told my friend, dude, roll up your window, stop screaming at the girls on the street. That's fucking embarrassing. I've told my friends that, you know, and then never hang out with them again because that's fucking embarrassing, dude. He's screaming out the window, hey, let me see that ass. And then she turns around and looks at me. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. That's fucking embarrassing. What are you doing, dude? You know?
Yeah.
So, anyway, if you have anything else to say, that's pretty much
no. That was,
gripe.
I mean, the biggest issue I had with that part of the ad was simply the fact that if they wanted to tackle catcalling, they should have actually showed what they were talking about. Leaving too much room for people to fill the blank is a problem, especially when you're trying to highlight bad behavior.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you actually don't showcase, that was my issue with the roughhousing with the kids. If you don't actually showcase what the bad behavior is, because boys roughhousing isn't in itself bad behavior. So if you don't actually showcase the bad behavior, instead you're relying on the audience to fill in the blanks with their bias or preconceived notions of what's going on or what's going to happen, then you're failing to push a point across.
Yeah.
Instead, you're really just trying to sell to a certain audience that's going to attach some sort of their own bias or preconceived notions onto it, which is what they wanted to.
That's what's fucked up about this whole thing is that they're just trying to sell you razors, dude. They don't give a fuck about the issues, man. They don't care how men treat women. In fact, if men treating women badly helped them sell more razors, they would be all about it. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck. They just want everyone talking about them. That's all it is. We're all talking about them.
Another aspect of it is that they've accomplished what they wanted, which is everybody in the world, everyone and their mother is talking about Gillette.
I mean, like, let's see how many views this fucking ad has. I mean, just 23 million views just from the revenue of this ad. They've already made a shit.
Monetized.
It's not?
Yeah.
No. Well, either way, they got 23 million people watching this ad, and then maybe double that, you know, hearing about it. So.
Oh yeah, way more than 23 million people have heard other people talk about it.
That's what
it's been on news channels. It's been on Fox News. It's been on CNN. It's been on CBS. It's been on. Everybody and their mother has talked about it, made a video on it, published an article about it. It's everywhere.
And the Agent X says, "Oh, sorry, go ahead."
So they've accomplished their goal in that, which is what any company's goal really is. It's a fairly harmless ad when you really boil it down. Yeah. Is it misguided in a lot of the ways that it points things out and whatnot? Yes. Is it too targeted towards saying these things within society are all gendered issues? Bullying is a gendered issue apparently, and that the onus is on men to correct other men in society on these things, and that it's a internal toxic masculinity issue rather than, you know, societal pressure upon men. Yeah, but the ad in itself isn't so bad that it would garner enough hate for them to actually have a problem.
Yeah,
I think it's soft enough of a ball that even with the negative reactions are not going to be big enough versus, like, you know, hitting the younger progressive audience, I guess.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right. Like, the problem with this is that everyone should know that this should not be your Excalibur. This should not be your weapon against toxic masculinity, you know, you shouldn't be using this as your reference. You know what I mean? Because this is just an ad to sell razors. That's it. If you want to talk about the issues, you got to use something else because this is just bullshit. The problem is most people are using this. Not most people, but there are people using this as like, yeah, see, this is what's going on. I'm going to use this as a catalyst to start, this conversation, which is just so misguided, dude. So misguided. And the Agent X is saying, also, I get a bit irritated by the assumption that if I start conversation with a girl that I'm interested sexually, romantically, 95% of the time I just want to have a conversation. Yeah, and that can happen too. But like I said, women, they go through a lot of creeps all the time. Like
100%. That's why, I mean, yeah, as a woman, you do have to play defense. They end up naturally playing defensively in random social interactions.
Yeah, almost every interaction.
And I think that it would do better for a lot of men to realize that. Like that simple realization of going into an interaction with a random woman, it's possible. At least give it the notion that it's possible that she is going to be on the defensive with me approaching her.
Exactly.
Because she does not know me. I'm a strange man walking up to her.
Yeah,
so
it's almost
just
guaranteed.
That realization would be good for men to appreciate.
If anything, men, the thing about toxic masculinity that's been fucking men for all these years is the fact that they can't approach a woman in a social environment without already having these negative modifiers to deal with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you can't just go and talk to a girl without, it's like, okay, how can I talk to this girl without her thinking that I'm a creep? That's like the first thing that every man thinks.
Depending on the situation, of course, it's going to be hard.
When it's me, though, it's too late. I'm already
when it's you, it's 100% of the time, John.
I'm just a creep. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, we don't usually get political on this podcast, but I just felt like as two guys...
Hey, everybody else is talking about it. Why the fuck not?
I know. And this isn't really that political.
Nuclear takes.
I just wanted to say that I don't completely disagree with this ad. There's certain things that they talk about in this ad that I do agree with. Like, there's one where, like, this girl at work, where was it? Right here.
The office room.
Yeah, the office room where the head at the table, he just touched the woman on the shoulder. Like, that was unnecessary. For sure, that's unnecessary. And if she felt uncomfortable, you can't be like, oh, what a bitch. What a pussy-ass bitch. No, dude. You don't touch somebody, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter whether they're a man or a woman. Just don't touch them if you're not close to them in that way. If they're your friend, and then that's the difference. Like, I've known guy friends that for years, and when we see each other, we hug each other. But I don't hug every guy I see. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with this. You don't touch a woman on the shoulder or invade her private space unless you know her as a friend, and she's comfortable with it. So that's something that I've seen guys, if they know that they can get away with touching a girl, they do it, even if they know the girl doesn't want it. I've seen that too. So that shit is for real. If there's
absolutely. And there's tons of bad behavior from men within society.
Yeah.
There's tons of bad behavior from women within society as well.
And how about they use the Terry Crews thing too, where he's in court, which I don't even know how that has anything to do with.
It's covering everything. It's covering Me Too and toxic masculinity. It's covering a lot of things, not just the toxic masculinity. So Terry Crews' stuff was all about the Me Too movement. So we wanted to throw that in as well for the extra brownie points. And there is a point to it that men need to hold other men accountable, but it's not. I guess the big issue I was having was that it squarely puts the onus on men, like for every issue that it brings up.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's nuance. That's the thing. There's
nuance, but of course, it's an ad. It's not going to give you nuance either.
That's what it is. It's just them trying to press all the right buttons to get all the people talking about them without being too overly in one. They don't want to overly say that they're on one side. They're just showing you images. They're just showing you situations and images that they handpicked, okay?
Right.
They went through it all. When the guy went to go talk to the girl, they're like, does he catcall her? No, he doesn't catcall her. He just walks up to her. And then Is it a white guy or a black guy? No, we got to make it a white guy, and his friend has to be a black guy. Like, these are all the things they think about, you know? So all people just need to be less shitty to each other, regardless of gender, race, creed, and whatever. Yeah, that's it. I mean, if that's a real message right there.
Right, but you don't get brownie points if you say that.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. We're done with the Gillette ad.
I think we beat it to death enough.
You know, the moral of the story is boys will be boys. So
boys will be boys.
So that's it. Let's move on. Did you see the new Mortal Kombat?
No, you mentioned that you're going to talk about it, and I'm not a big fighting game person, so I'm going to let you just fill me in, Papa Bear.
I'll fill you in, baby. So let me fill you up and fill you in. There's something about Mortal Kombat that just tugs at my heartstrings for all these years. I'm not really a big fighting game fanatic. I like fighting games, especially when you got your buddies over at your house and you guys are just playing. Oh my god, fucking Forbes, dude.
They're at your websites.
Dude, they're at your house. There probably is nothing better than playing Smash, Street Fighter, or Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? Smash is probably the best of those three, in my opinion. Even though I've played more Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter than Smash, the only reason I say that is because I've noticed that most people can play Smash. Tekken 2, I like Tekken 2 as well. But when it comes to Smash, anybody can pick it up and play. It's like, these are the two buttons. Okay, here you go. A and B.
Yeah, Smash is just so much more simplified than other fighting games.
So, Mortal Kombat, they reached this point where they made, I think it was Mortal Kombat 9, where they finally figured out how to make a Mortal Kombat that people will like, and they've just been riding that train. Mortal Kombat 10 was much of the same, just a little bit different, and then this is the next one, Mortal Kombat 11. And a lot of people in the fighting game community, including Sonic Fox, I'm gay, said that they're excited about this game because of some of the mechanics. Like, one of the things that this game has is something called flawless block, where if you hit block right when you're about to get hit, it freezes time and you're able to attack.
Okay.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Wife needed something.
How dare she?
I know. So yeah, 9 was a reboot. 11 is gonna be sick. Yeah, I think 11 is gonna be sick. As far as characters go, Ronda Rousey is gonna be Sonya Blade. So I hope you guys are excited about that.
Oh boy.
I don't know what that means, but she's gonna be Sonya Blade. There's awesome fatalities. The graphics are really sick, dude. They've done a really good job. But here's the confirmed characters: Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Sonya Blade, Scarlet. She's some bitch that uses blood as a weapon. Like, she can pull the blood out of her enemies.
You were talking about that on stream the other day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. She can like make a sword out of blood and kill you with it. It's Mortal Kombat. Blood bending, dude. How cool is that? Baraka's in it. Raiden. There's supposed to be a Dark Raiden too. So, like Dark Ryu.
Right.
There's
Ryu.
There it is. There's a guy named Jairus who is like Prince of Persia. He uses like the sands of time to like stop time, and he can turn his hand into a big sand fist and punch your fucking teeth out.
Jake Gyllenhaal was going to be in this.
I know, right? And then in the cinematics, we saw Shinnok, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Kronika, who I guess she smokes a lot of weed, and Shao Kahn.
Hey, man.
So yeah, that's their parry system, the flawless block. There's another thing, dude. There's a $300 collector's edition.
Oh my god! Why do people buy these things?
And all it is it's the game and this head trophy thing.
You gotta be fucking kidding me!
It's terrible.
Is Scorpion's mask and that's probably not wearable either.
No, it's not.
I can guarantee you, it doesn't look that good.
I heard a streamer Eris from Avoiding the Puddle. He's like, that's gonna be hard to fit up my ass. But yeah, this is $300 collector's edition. You get like really a scorpion head statue.
$300 boys?
No, it's not. Just like the power armor helmet was not worth however much people spent on it.
Why are gamers so retarded?
Look, like, some people want to have that collector's edition and put it on their bookcase or whatever, But I would never.
I mean, I guess
pay
there's really nothing wrong with it.
no.
So I guess do what you want to do with your money, but it's just so stupid.
But as far as like cost to material, this is like a $20 purchase that you just bought for $300. So,
right.
Yeah,
it's limited edition, John. There's you can't just go out and buy it. That's the only way you can get it.
Of course, they had there's two other things I wanted to talk about. Number one, Good Guy NetherRealm Studios. They announced up to 75% off on all their Steam games. Whatever is on Steam for Mortal Kombat is up to 75% off. And they announced that, but they announced that after they revealed Mortal Kombat 11. And as you know, most companies, they like to do this big sale before they announce their new game. And they didn't do that. Instead, they were like, hey, there's a new game coming, but, if you want to buy these old ones, it's on sale. Which is, they probably lost out on a lot of money for that, but that's some ethical practices. You know what I mean?
Right.
From a company that was once deemed evil and gruesome,
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, back in the 90s when Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 came out.
Right, yeah.
It was considered terrible. It was considered like we cannot have our kids playing this game, this and that. And guess what? It ended up being not a big deal. That's what happened.
Right.
Just like everything in life. The other thing that I wanted to cover was their Mortal Kombat reveal events where they had a bunch of they said they were going to have a bunch of celebrities on, and it was a bunch of C and B list people. And they said they were going to interview them, and all they did was just have them stand up on a stage and then play the game. But you don't get to watch them play, you don't get to see them playing. It's just them with a controller in their hand.
You just are watching them play it, but you're not actually watching the game.
Exactly. And they never interviewed. And when they interviewed them, they said, are you excited? And then put the mic. Yes, I'm excited. I've been a fan for a long time. Okay, let's go to the next C-list celebrity.
Next review.
Yeah. So, but yeah, as far as Mortal Kombat games go, I love Mortal Kombat, especially these new ones. I think I might get this one. I'm not sure. I don't know yet. I'm not sure. Wife is saying yes. She likes Mortal Kombat as well.
Wife's one.
Yeah.
Wife's one to get on that.
It's fun, dude. It's fun to rip people's heads off and stuff like that. They have some cool fatalities. Baraka's fatality, he has one where he rips the front part of your face off. Then he rips your skull off. Then he pulls out your brain, and then he eats it.
Because you weren't already dead after the first move.
Oh my god. That's the other thing about this game. They have these moves where you shove a sword up the dude's eyeball, through his head, and out the back of his head. And then it's
he goes back to the fight.
And then he goes back to standing. It's dude, you just killed the man. What are you talking about? But yeah, and it's just super bloody and gory, and that's why I like it, because it's so ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Right. They're made to be ridiculous.
Yeah. So Mortal Kombat 11, it's coming out, I believe, in March. Let me find out. Mortal Kombat 11 release date. How about every C is replaced with a K? April 23rd. Wow. Yeah, it's gonna be a little while till it comes out. So get ready for that. And microtransactions.
Naturally. Yeah. Ads in the game, all that good stuff.
Chinook, you can play as a helicopter. Pog. Sub-Zero's new fatality looks amazing. Yeah, there's some cool ones where he freezes your head, then he punches your head, and it's fucking amazing. So yeah.
The graphics for those games is getting surprisingly advanced.
It's very good, dude. It's very good. And considering this is the only game that they make, you know what I mean? Right. It's like CD Projekt Red, which only makes one game. So, let's see. Was there anything else? Oh, yeah. Then there was some Anthem. They showed an hour's worth of Anthem gameplay. And I didn't really watch... Did you watch any of this stuff? So...
I didn't even know they did this.
Yeah, they explain what javelins are. I guess javelins are the suit that you wear.
Oh, no, I did. I did watch this.
Oh, you watched this?
Yeah, parts of it.
Yeah, this came out right after our last podcast, so maybe the Monday, and they just showed what it's like to get loot and play the game. I gotta tell you, man, from watching little clips of this, it does not attract my attention.
Not at all, dude. And I think it's, I don't know, just something about it even looks less appetizing than Destiny.
it looks like it might be slightly better than Destiny, but I don't want a game that's slightly better than Destiny. You know what I
It
mean?
will be it. That's what, and this is my take on it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Whatever. But I believe that this is going to be a game that is slightly better than Destiny, but has all of the shortfallings that Destiny had.
Exactly. It's
Both 1 and 2 when it came out. It will be lack content. It will be just like what happened with Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. It will not be a completed game. There will be issues that they have to fix with later DLCs. It's gonna be just like Destiny launch.
I mean, it looks like Destiny to me. I'm watching it and everything looks like Destiny. It just looks like a reskin Destiny.
Well, it's third person. You have your javelins, and you're not like you with your character. You're not in Destiny. You pick a Titan. That's your character, right?
Yeah.
This is not. You can play with all of the javelins on your character.
Oh, okay.
So like you can switch javelins.
Yeah. So maybe the loot system, that's the thing that'll change this game, because I felt like the loot system in Destiny was terrible.
It still is, to be honest.
Nothing about it was rewarding, and from what I heard, all the best equipment was impossible to find. There's just grind after grind, and you'll still not get it.
Yeah, that's how any MMO like game is, or MMO game is, though. It's all about the grind.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of people that attracts looter based games. This is, of course, a looter based game, so expect grinding. The issue is going to be how they do the loot system and rarity and the grind and stuff like that, because you have to have a balance between core casual gameplay, which has to be rewarding enough to keep casuals okay playing it, while you also have to give it the grind depth and end game content to keep hardcore people still interested in playing the game.
Yeah, and like the Agent X is saying, it looks like it would be fun for like a week tops, then be a grind fest. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yep.
And
yeah, no, it's 100% a game I'm passing on.
Yeah.
Unless,
so far,
if it comes out and everyone's like, oh, it's really good, of course, I'm going to give it about a month. Because if people aren't still playing it a month, then why would I even get it?
Yeah, honestly, with the way things are nowadays with video games, after 2 weeks, if it still has its same player base, then it probably is a decent game. 2 weeks is like the thing. Like two weeks is all. Actually, 1 week is all it took to kill Radical Heights.
That's true.
80% of its player base, like overnight, was gone, and so that's just how we are now. Like now we know the databases, and we know how many people are playing the games, and if you hear that 80% of the player base is gone, just people stop playing it.
Right.
So I'm looking, and it looks like there's loot on the ground, and I don't know. It doesn't look like he got anything special after killing that boss. I don't know, man. It looks pretty. It looks cool, and I don't know, man. It makes me sad because BioWare's the shit, and I fucking love their games. It's all the Mass Effect games, and if this is their big, ambitious new thing, I'm kind of scared for them, because it doesn't look good at all. It doesn't look like anything spectacular is what I should say.
Right, of course, it looks baseline good, being great graphics, the gameplay looks solid, but that's bare minimum for any AAA game, so...
Yeah, no, it looks like it functions great, but it doesn't look like anything other than that. I would have liked a Mass Effect MMO over this shit for sure.
Right, and it's gonna have the core problems of any shooter MMO light.
Yeah,
you want to play it, everyone's gonna get it and play it for a month with their friends, and it's gonna fall off because that's all it's gonna be good for is a month of playing with your friends.
Yeah, that's it. So hopefully, we'll be proven wrong when the game comes out. This does look like a finished product. It is coming out in February, I think.
That soon?
I think so. Let me see. Anthem release date. February 22nd.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's
very soon.
A month from now. So that's it. Don't pre-purchase. Don't be an idiot. Next piece of news. Wanted to talk about Resident Evil. It's coming out in 4 days. Resident Evil 2 or Biohazard 2, which, by the way, sounds way cooler than Resident Evil. Biohazard. I don't know why they did this back in the day where they changed the name for the Japanese release.
Yeah, a lot of games are like that.
Yeah, and they're still riding that wave. But anyway, who cares? It's coming. The one thing I did want to talk about is you're buying a game from the 90s, from 1998, and it's $60.
Right, but I mean, it's basic. Okay, look, it's basically the game, but it's not because this is not a remaster.
It's a remake.
This is a remake.
Jesus.
So you're actually buying a new game. It's going, it's the same story, right? But it's a new game in the sense that ground up, it's on a new engine, it's got new graphics, it's, things are different from what I can tell in here.
Like, it looks sick.
It looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, yeah, it's worth $60. It's not a remake, or it's not a remaster. They didn't throw the same game in a new engine and update the graphics.
Yeah, do you think it's worth $60 though?
Yeah, probably.
I muted and it still plays the fucking volume. What really bothered me is it didn't have any multiplayer at all or anything like that.
Yeah, but I mean, they're trying to sell the game that everyone loved, basically, but in a new, a new version of it, basically.
Yeah. No, I don't have anything against them doing this. I think it's awesome. I think that more people should do this with their games, with their popular games. And Resident Evil 2 is my favorite Resident Evil. So I'm with you on that. But I don't know, man. I feel like $60 is so much, but then again, it's a Capcom game, so
big AAA Resident Evil 5 and 6 both had multiplayer.
Yeah.
Oh, the classic ones, yeah.
Yeah, the classic ones. That's why. But that I thought, since they're remaking it, and from RE5 on, everything was multiplayer. I thought that they would keep the same thing going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think since it's technically a remake of the older one, they just stuck to not falling into the co-op mode.
Jimbo says, I don't like having to stand still to aim. Well, that's what Resident Evil is, right? It's that whole, like, pressing left and right and spinning around and then pressing forward. That was, like, the worst mechanic, dude. When there's a fucking zombie on your face, you gotta, like, slowly turn and then press forward to run away. It's the worst.
It definitely looks, it looks fantastic. It's gory, and I think it delivers exactly what Resident Evil fans have wanted.
Yeah, the problem is it's sustainable? Are people gonna play it for a month and then never play it again?
Well, I mean, it's a single player game. The idea behind games like this is you pay your one-time payment and you play it. Like, that's what they care about, is the box sales. Yeah. Technically, they're not really box sales anymore. It's digital sales. It's not a service game. They made the product, they're done with it. You buy the product, you play it. So for them, as long as it's a good product that people pay for, yeah, it's going to be worth it. The thing is, though, I'm hoping that they take this and they make their newer Resident Evil games like this. I don't know if you I played Resident Evil 5. Played it through with my friend, and it was not horrible.
It wasn't. I didn't think it was horrible.
It wasn't that great. And then we tried to play Resident Evil 6, and we just decided not to after playing for about half an hour. We're like, this game is absolute trash.
Yeah, because I think what they tried to do was they were like, oh, this multiplayer aspect is popular, so that let's push this. But really, what makes Resident Evil fun is its story and interactivity with it,
Right.
And I think they lost that. That's why Resident Evil 2 is so big, because the story and the interactivity, where you end up, you're in a police station, and all those things, all those factors make it so fucking cool. It's like this world is coming to an end, and you're following one new rookie cop while he's going through it. It's fucking awesome, especially during the time where it wasn't a used trope by everything. The zombie movies were not what they are today, when Resident Evil 2 came out. It was way before any of this, like, we're all fucking tired of zombie movies situation,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like it. I just have a problem with the $60 price tag. I'm not surprised by it. I'm not outraged by it. I'm just surprised that it doesn't offer more than just a new look for $60. You know what I mean? I feel like I wanted more.
I mean, I can understand that perspective.
But yeah, you can still play as Tofu and Hunk, which were the secret unlockable characters. Tofu just looks like a straight big... Here, let me see. Tofu, Resident... Yeah, here we go. It's on PC Gamer magazine, or PCGamer.com had it. Let's see. Trying to find a picture of it. Come on, dude. Where are you? Okay, they don't even have it up here. Here,
Google image search is your friend, my friend.
I know, dude. Yeah, so the original RE2 was literally just a big hunk of tofu. There he is. Right. The tofu survivor. It's just so weird. Look at it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be back in this game, and you'll be able to play those. I hope that they have other unlockable characters. That'll be fun. So 30-minute timer for 3-minute demo. Never forget. Oh, yeah, that's right. Moggers is saying in chat. But yeah, that's it. Another thing I wanted to talk about, next piece of news, is Cyberpunk 2077's open world won't have procedural elements. So that might sound like a negative thing, but really all that means is they're super ambitious. So what they're saying is everywhere you go, every building you walk in, every person you talk to is handpicked.
There's enough. What they're saying is there's enough scripted content that you won't need to fill it with procedural, repeated stuff that can occur.
Yeah, so they didn't have to write a script where they're like, okay, let's make a building and then, just randomly generate people in it. No, they were like, that guy stands here and he says this. That guy stands there, and if you talk to him, he says that. And they're doing that for everything in the world. So, like, for example, Skyrim is one of those examples where every person has their house.
There's not procedurally. Dragons, I guess, are procedurally generated.
Yeah, the enemies are procedurally generated and stuff like that. But Cyberpunk isn't even going to have that. Every enemy, every person, I guess, is just handpicked.
No, I mean, enemies are still going to be AI controlled. They're still going to be AI. What the procedural events are is things like, in Red Dead Redemption, when you walk around and then there's those open world events that suddenly just happen next to you, like there's a lady screaming for help in a carriage.
Yeah.
But really she's trying to honeypot you into coming over, trying to help her, and bandits jump out and rob you. Like, that's a procedurally generated event.
Okay.
So they're saying there's not going to be stuff like that. There's not going to be, like in Skyrim, dragons, procedurally generated. They can randomly appear and spawn and try to fight, and maybe they're attacking a town and you go up and defend the town. That's a procedural event. It's not hard scripted. Like, when you get to this town, there's going to be a dragon attacking it. It's like whatever percentage chance of dragons doing things are going to happen. That's procedurally generated. So there's not going to be these chance encounters of things happening. They're saying there is enough content that they are hard scripting in this that they don't need you to, like, they won't need procedural events to make it feel like an open and living world.
Yeah, exactly. And they talk about how in The Witcher, everything is horizontal. When you want to get to point A to point B, you ride on your horse and you go in a straight line. Where they're saying this one's a little tougher because Cyberpunk has both elements of verticality and horizontal.
With all like skyscrapers.
And they're like, pretty much what they're saying is we want you to be able to enter a building and every floor has something going on. And we want to have a bunch of buildings. So it's like super ambitious what they're saying that they're going to do. And if anybody can do it, it's them. Like, I don't think that they can not do it. And they haven't said when the game's coming out because they're not worried about release dates. They're worried about making a good game. And it's really refreshing.
This is a game that I actually am excited about.
Oh my god. If you're not excited about this game, you're misinformed, because it has so many elements to it that are amazing that I just cannot wait, dude. It's going to have multiplayer. They've teased it. What that means, I don't know. They're working closely with Mike Pondsmith, who created Cyberpunk 2020, which the game is based on. Does it mean that they're going to add some kind of RPG element with you and your buddies? I'm hoping that you can have like a game master mode where you and your buddies can fucking play. That would be amazing. Dude.
Yeah, that would be intense.
It would be so hard to make.
Because Divinity.
Yeah.
Original Sin does that.
Exactly. Divinity Original Sin does that. I think they do it really well, but it's still a little tough because it's kind of hard to... First of all, everybody has to have a copy of the game, and it's like not all people are going to like the game. But I feel like everybody's going to buy this one. So if
they could pull something like that off, that'd be so hard in a game like this.
I know, especially with all that they're doing.
That'd be interesting. That would be really dope.
Which, by the way, that's all speculation. They never said they were going to do anything like that, but I'm just speculating on how cool that would be. But yeah, if you needed more news to be hyped about fucking Cyberpunk, here you go. All right, let's move on. Next piece of news. Rocket League gets full cross-platform play. Yes, even on PS4. So, all you Rocket Leaguers out there.
Wait, did they not have this before?
I guess they didn't. I thought the same thing, but they didn't have it before. But PS4, Switch, Xbox One, and PC, they can all play with each other, which I think is a great idea because
it's a game that you need to use a controller for.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter.
So why not have cross-platform?
Yeah. And you know what, man? This is the kind of shit that we dreamed of as kids. You know, having cross-platform play. I remember when it was Xbox and PlayStation at war with each other.
Right.
And the idea that you can play the same game with you and your buddy on different consoles was just like, there's no way they'll ever do that. You know, that's the idea. And now we're seeing it. We're seeing the demand forcing these the owners of these consoles, the companies, the people are demanding cross-platform play. Fortnite did it. Now Rocket League is doing it. What's the future? You know?
I'm just surprised that Sony is on board with it.
Yeah,
because they've been real against the concept for a while.
Yeah, and they face a lot of backlash for it, and I think that's why they've changed their mind, because it's either you're with the trend or you get left behind. You know, people will just not buy your console because you're not allowing cross-platform play. That's what happens, and they know that. So even if they don't like it, they have to go with the trend. And this is a good trend, you know, where you and your buddies can play the game no matter what console.
This is a consumer-friendly trend.
Yeah, and it just shows you the power of your wallet, dude. This is what the power of your wallet means. And, you know, this might even get people to buy Rocket League just because they can do cross-platform.
Right, you can play with all your friends.
Yeah, there you go. So that's good. Hope you guys are happy with that. Next piece of news. Epic sued over yet another Fortnite dance, this time by Orange Shirt Kid's mom.
That's impossible.
How amazing is this idea, dude?
They are 100% going to lose that.
But they have this competition to see this. That's what this is,
that's
right?
the thing, is it was submitted in a competition to get your thing added.
Yeah. So the idea of the competition was, all right, send in your dance and we'll put it in the game. This kid won and his parents are suing.
Oh, well, hold on. No.
What do you mean no?
I'm mistaken. Orange Shirt Kid did not win.
Well, that's what it says. Upon submitting
the
dance...
No, he didn't. Somebody else won.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because PewDiePie had Orange Shirt Kid in his video and liked it so much and was like, oh, this kid should win. It became like a meme. And everyone was like, you know, campaigning for Orange Shirt Kid to win.
That's right. He didn't win.
There was so much public support for his dance, they also put his dance in the game.
Yeah, that's right.
So he didn't even win the competition. So they might actually have ground for something like this because he didn't win the competition, but they still added his dance in the game.
So he's joining, well, his parents.
Of course, it's his parents. The kid doesn't have any control over this.
Rachel McCumbers represents her son, and she's joining 2 Milli, Alfonso Ribeiro, and Backpack Kid in pursuance of legal recompense. What a word. Over the use of their dances and likeness in Fortnite. They're all represented by the same law firm, Pierce, Bainbridge, Beck, Price, and Hecht, which probably is just one of those litigious law firms that literally all they do
all law firms are litigious.
They're just trolls that just sue. Like,
no, and I mean, you know, I think there's a conversation to be had about, you know, the dance moves and, you know, copywriting of them and stuff like that. There's definitely a talk to be had, especially because you want to know who makes the money off of the dance moves?
Epic, yeah, for sure.
Epic makes the money.
But see, the thing is,
there's definitely an argument to be made.
No, there is, but you know, it kind of discredits your argument when you got 2 or 3 people. Like Backpack Kid was okay with it.
But he's a kid, so you can't really, you know, the argument falls to the wayside a little bit there, because you could then make the argument that, okay, well, Epic is actually strategically taking advantage of minors and their desire to be famous on social media or their desire to be recognized in this. So then the parental stuff is actually protective of the kids, and it's not it's not predatory versus Epic. It's actually protective of their kids.
Yeah. And here's the statement from the lawyer for Orange Shirt Kid. Defendants have unfairly profited from exploiting Orange Shirt Kid's protected creative expression, likeness, and trademark without consent or authorization. But check this out. He says the suit also alleges that Epic's inclusion of the dance was the impetus for a wave of cyberbullying directed towards Macumber's son that forced him to deactivate his Instagram and YouTube accounts. So Orange Shirt Kid, who was praised by PewDiePie, the biggest YouTuber.
Right. That's interesting. I feel like all of the attention would. I mean, of course, with positive attention, there's always going to be negative attention because people are fuckheads on the internet.
Yeah, and that's just the internet. When you get fame on the internet, you get everything. You get all the hate, you get all the love, But obviously, there was more love than hate, because all the people that championed him were influencers, as they call them. PewDiePie with 75 million viewers or whatever the fuck he has.
81 million subscribers.
81 million, Jesus Christ.
81 million.
He talked about how awesome this kid is, and so if you're with PewDiePie, you're gonna also agree with him. So he got a bunch of love, but they want to focus on the hate just to make it look like it's
right.
Epic's
And
fault.
maybe there was enough hate where the kid, or the other thing though too is it's a kid. Simply the amount of attention he was getting could have been enough.
Yeah, the problem is
to deactivate Instagram.
Here's the problem. The suit makes no mention of the official Fortnite Boogie Down contest that brought the dance into the light in the first place, and the grand prize winner of the Boogie Down contest would see their dance made into an in-game emote alongside a small V-Bucks prize. Wow. They give you fucking fake money as a prize too. That's funny.
Right. Yeah, so I mean it'll be interesting I would actually really love to see the arguments that get put forward, so I might really follow this because it's I feel like there's a lot of arguments with valid points that are going to get made here. It was in a competition. So does he still have, copyright claim to his dance when he submitted it in the Boogie Right Down? What's the terms of service of the Boogie Right Down competition?
Yeah.
By submitting it, did he agree to the terms of service? Or the terms of competition rather? What's the arguments going to be put forward there?
Yeah, we just don't know. We don't know. As much as we want to be judgmental of these people for the cash grab, I mean, I don't know. We don't know their situation. We don't know their financial situation. Maybe it does seem unethical to do something like this, but I'm not quick to judge somebody. Obviously, there's a cash grab for sure, because the kid was happy to have his emote in there. His parents probably helped him record the emote. His parents knew about it, and until they heard about this lawsuit, they were okay with it. This is what it seems like. And
maybe not. I mean, there's so much like unknown in that it's hard to make those kinds of assumptions, especially when you have something where it's easy to say, well, Epic is, like I said, you can easily make the argument that Epic is almost predatory in nature with taking advantage of the kids in this kind of situation.
Yeah, you're right. You can make that argument. It's true. They're literally making bucks. They're making all kinds of fucking money off this kid's emote. It's for sure they are doing that. But
yeah, so it'll be very interesting. I think they're probably going to lose, but I could be wrong.
That's the thing though. It's like to feign the ignorance. Yeah, it's true that they're making all the money from it, right? But you knew that going into it. You knew all of that going into it. You knew that if you're just happy with the fame and with like being able to turn on your game and be like, dude, I did that. That's me. That's what people were happy about. But once money got involved, when it's like, dude, you knew about the money in the beginning. They never said that they weren't going to make money off of it,
Right, which is why I think that for me, Orange Shirt Kids is the most valid to me, because you don't see the winner of the Boogie Down competition involved in this class action lawsuit.
Yeah, true.
Because they absolutely have no claim, in my opinion.
Yeah,
they won. They were already compensated in their reward, right?
That's true. Yeah, they got compensation. Orange Shirt Kid didn't. You're right.
Yeah, and he didn't win. but they still used him. So it's like, okay, so where's the justification of that? You had the competition and you had one winner, but now suddenly you're like, oh, this one also is really popular, so we're gonna yoink and take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Game. So that it'll be interesting.
Fuck them all, I say. All right, next piece of news. IO Interactive is opening a second studio to work on Hitman and new universes. So
new universes.
Yeah, so the story with Hitman is it was owned by Ubisoft.
Who did it?
I think it was.
We're the most unknowledgeable game cover.
Dude, we talk about dick jokes, all right? We don't give a fuck about actual news. But I just remember there was a time where Square bought them out. And Square Enix in 2017. Okay, so IO Interactive broke from publisher Square Enix in 2017. Oh.
Okay, there you go.
It had originally been acquired by the publisher along with Eidos Interactive back in 2009. Yeah, that's when it happened. So Eidos Interactive was bought out by Square Enix. The developer was able to keep Hitman after the management buyout, which allowed it to create Hitman 2, and staff cuts had to be made to keep IO afloat, but clearly things are quite different now, suggesting Hitman 2 did pretty well. So yeah, the newer versions of Hitman did really well. I actually played the first Hitman, not 2, and I was pleasantly surprised because I played the older ones, and the older ones were just riddled with weird, stupid bugs that were just hilarious.
Yeah, they were very much a product of their time as well, but they do seem like they probably were a little overly buggy.
Yeah, but the new ones are really fun. There's so many cool things you can do. A lot of this game has to do with, unlocking outfits and then using those outfits in situations like having a policeman outfit lets you in certain places that you wouldn't be able to get in.
The whole disguise mechanic is huge in the game.
Yeah. And then, the way you kill somebody, it can be like Final Destination where like you set certain things like a Rube Goldberg, like this hits that happens and then the guy dies and you're scot-free, So
I will say something that's funny, and I think it's interesting that they do it. Every article or anybody ever talking about Hitman, they always use the flamingo mascot suit
because it's great.
It's great. It's just funny to me. Like every time I've seen a preview video for it, every time I've seen a picture on an article, it's always the flamingo mascot.
I know, man. It's funny. There's a lot of good mascots. You can be like I think there's like a mariachi one too. But yeah, anyway,
racist. That's what that is, John.
That is racist. Toxic racism and
toxic racism, unlike normal racism.
Yeah, this is toxic. No, there's some racism that is harmless,
Harmless racism. Benevolent racism.
That's it. We're just looking out for you. All right, so expect new Hitman games. They're out on their own now.
I really want to get the new ones. I never really played a lot of the old ones. I played some of the old ones moderately.
Yeah, no, I'd recommend the new ones. They're really fun. And I'm curious to see what these new universes will be. But we'll see.
See I want to know what exactly that means.
I guess they mean new franchise. I don't know what new universe
means. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. It's weird to call it new universe.
Yeah, because what does that exactly mean?
Yeah.
It's, like I said, super vague.
Yeah.
God, I can't speak.
Super vague, dude.
Vague, my dude.
Next piece of news. All right, Jason Bischoff says, for those in the back, Battle for the Grid, a new Power Rangers fighting game, motherfucker. It's gonna be.
Say I hate the meme for those in the back, or say it again for those in the back.
Yeah, that's a terrible.
I don't know. That just triggered the fuck out of me. I hate that meme so much. Can we fucking stop it? It's like the fucking tea meme. Why is everybody spilling tea? The new thing for drama. What the fuck is wrong with people?
I first heard about that spilling tea.
Sorry, this just really fucking annoyed me.
I like this about you, Czar. I like this version of you. I think the tea meme started in the gay community, like spilling the tea.
Okay, keep it there.
But this is what
a joke.
By the way, did you ever play that Power Rangers fighting game back in the day on Super Nintendo?
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was Power Rangers fighting game Super Nintendo. It was a really fun fucking fighting game. Yeah, Power Rangers Fighting Edition. Here it is.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, so it was one where you are playing as the Zords. Yeah, you see them? They have like
Oh, very
combos and
nice.
shit.
Okay, that's actually fucking sweet.
Dude, it was a sick fucking game, but it was one of those games that just didn't get popular, you know? Like no one gave a fuck about it. But it had combos and supers and everything, dude. So
So are we getting this again? Is this what's happening? Are we bringing
well,
this back?
this is not the Zords. It's actually just like the people, like the actual Power
The
Rangers.
Power Rangers. Yeah, but okay. Well, that's acceptable, I guess.
So it's gonna be console cross-platform combat, okay, which is great. Like we said, it's the future. PvP and single story, of course. Not a port of Legacy Wars, which I don't even know what the fuck that is. No cards, no free to play. DLC bonus content will be available. New moves, new characters, new skins, and pre order available now. Yeah, nice try. But let's see. Is there any Power Rangers Power the Grid? I don't know what the fuck it's called. That's a weird thing. Okay, Battle for the Grid gameplay. So here we're gonna watch some
So
fighting.
that's what it's called, Battle for the Grid.
Yeah,
Okay, Legacy Wars is another Power Rangers game, so it's not a remake of that.
yeah. So this is I guess that they're showing clips from the game. This is the mobile version. So Legacy Wars is what they're
Wars is
showing right
mobile.
now.
Legacy Wars is mobile.
Yeah. But this is gonna be different, and we're looking at some stills here as it loads. For some reason, it's taking forever to fucking load. But never mind. This just took a shit on me. Great podcast. Great podcast.
Great podcast.
Yeah, awesome podcast. It's just not working. Let's turn it down to 480p. Hopefully that'll resolve the issue. It has not resolved the issue. It's time.
Well, it's John Technical Issues podcast.
Yeah. So
it's good that they're clarifying this is not like a port over of the mobile game.
yeah. Another fighting game that's Power Rangers. I'm kind of excited, dude. I liked Power Rangers growing up, and it was one of those things that like you couldn't admit that you liked it. I don't know if that phenomenon happened to you guys, but
No.
we would all talk about how Power Rangers was gay, you know, because back then it was.
What is
okay
wrong with you?
It was okay to say Power Rangers are gay, without.
I mean, they're walking around in spandex, so I guess that's okay to say, but you're wrong for saying it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so but I loved Power Rangers, and it looks like it's gonna have them all. Green Rangers.
Cross-platform.
Yeah, cross-platform.
Did they say the platforms it was coming out on?
No,
think they
but
did.
I bet it's gonna be on
Did they
everything.
say PC?
It says here we go. Nintendo
Where's that
Switch, PlayStation, Xbox One, and Steam. So it's gonna be on everything.
Booyah, baby! I'm buying it.
Yeah, it's gonna be on everything.
I'm not pre-ordering, but
No.
I'm gonna wait till it comes out, see if it's good, and buy it.
Definitely not pre-ordering.
But
So
I'm buying it.
Power Rangers fighting game, motherfuckers. Next piece of news. Valve's card game Artifact is running out of players. Who could have ever thought?
Oh no! Who would have thought that this would happen?
Valve's like, what do you mean?
Somebody call the police.
Somebody get that fucking Pikachu meme of Valve going, what? But yeah,
Moggers, get on that. Make us a meme.
let's see how many people are playing Artifact today. We do it every week.
We do.
Steam database says.
We almost do it every week.
Steam database says that only 2,459 people are playing the game right now.
Wait, what?
2,000 people are playing the game.
2,000. Oh, they said
Yeah.
240. I was like, Jesus, that's
Oh,
worse
no,
than I thought.
That's bad. And the game is still $20. I don't know what they need. What more information do they need to make it free to play? I don't know. I don't know what else they need. But here's the chart.
30-day loss is almost 60% of the player base over the last 30 days.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Holy shit.
Players.
So the last 24-hour peak was 2,800.
That's it. It doesn't look good for them. Actually,
Literally nobody playing this game.
yeah, like literally no one. Who could have ever thought?
Who would have ever thought that this would happen?
Damn, dude, it's pretty sad.
Oversaturated card dueling genre,
I know, man.
and this game does poorly. Who would have ever thought of that?
So yeah, December 11,000 people, and today 2,000 people, and even 11,000 is terrible. Their peak was 60,000, which is terrible too. So yeah. Oh look, dude, 2 million people own the game, and only 2,459 people are playing it. Wow.
Like a month ago, 11,000 people were playing it.
Yeah.
Now, literally nobody's playing it.
So there it is. Valve.
There it is. Dead game. Not surprising.
No. They just were so greedy with the design of it. You know, like they came in with it.
Wait. Are you telling me that Valve was greedy? How dare you?
You know, I'm
That's
just
like-
gonna go
that's
out on
like
a limb.
That's like their standard go-to these days.
Dude, it's ranked 145 on Steam charts. Yeah. Okay. That wedges it in between Dark Souls 2 and Assassin's Creed Origins, which are fucking like 2 generations.
And plus Origins is like a single-player story game. You play it once a year.
Dude. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, so it's really bad right now.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah. So expect it to go free to play soon, and
I'm not gonna expect it to go free to play soon. I expect to revisit this next week and see how many people are still playing it.
I mean, if you're trying to queue up with people and no one's playing the game, your game's dead. That's just how it goes. Radical Heights.
That's true. I wonder how hard it is for people to get PvP matches.
I mean, I remember when I played Elder Scrolls Legends when it first came out, and there wasn't that many people playing it. I would get repeat. Like, I just played this guy, and I'm playing him again. So that shit.
You get
probably
stomped
happens.
by this dude with a really good deck, and you're like, oh fuck.
I know.
All right, well let me try again. It's the same fucking
It's
guy.
the same guy, dude. Same guy, same deck. So
Same Chinese name.
yeah, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 4 because he's been banned. So he just puts a bunch of numbers. All right. Fuck any game other than Cyberpunk 2077. That's right, Jimbles. Jimbles knows. All right. Next piece of news, last one. According to a recent report, Fortnite earned the most annual revenue of any game in history in 2018 with $2.4 billion. That's some fucking psycho microtransaction money, dude.
And
Insane.
here's the problem with the future of these big publishers as well is everybody is now looking at Fortnite. They're saying, look at all that money that's out there. Look at this game that we made.
How can I get some of that?
Why are we not making that much money? Because really, that's what it comes down to with a lot of these big publishers. They aren't worried about losses.
No.
They don't lose money. Making money is pretty fucking easy for them. They shit something half decent out with a decent IP. You're at least make money. The thing they're worried about is, okay, but how much money could I be making? So this is just going to further flex their dicks up towards how many microtransactions can I shove in these people's assholes.
It's crazy, dude. Crazy. What the fuck? This says a report says the free-to-play game earned a whopping $87.7 billion last year as a whole. This accounts for 80% of the $109.8 billion in digital games revenue. Oh shit.
Jesus fuck, dude.
Out of all the digital games in 2018, it made 80% of the entire revenue. So if you take Fortnite out, if Fortnite didn't exist, all of digital games would have made $20 billion. But since Fortnite exists, the number is inflated to $109 billion.
Jesus.
So although free-to-play, blah, 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 premium games brought in $17.8 billion in revenue in total. So these are games that they have a price tag on them, you know, $20, $50,
Yeah.
whatever it is. And some of them include FIFA and Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2, which made under $1 billion each. And even Netflix can't ignore Fortnite's growing prominence, stating that instead of seeing TV networks like HBO as their biggest rivals, the real competition is Fortnite. Damn.
Fuck?
I mean,
what does that even fucking mean?
what they're saying is to those companies, it doesn't matter what the product is. It's the fact that they're reaching that many people. And Netflix is like, how can we reach that many people too? You know? So that's what makes this Epic Games Store, such an enticing thing, because it's like, dude, look how many people are playing their fucking game. How many eyes are going to look at their launcher
on that platform?
Dude, you know how many advertisers would just on the daily suck everybody's dick in Epic Games just in a line just so they can put a little 4x4 ad on their Epic Store launcher? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I don't understand why this headline says $2.4 billion last year, and then right here it says $87.7 billion last year. Is just
Says
is
they're
that
free.
2
Oh, no,
points?
no, no. Free to play games.
Oh, free to play. So it wasn't just Fortnite. Okay, I read that wrong.
Free to play games are earning a majority stake of the revenue, is basically what's happening here.
Wow, free to play games are making 80% of the money out there.
Of just digital games revenue last year.
So League of Legends, Dota.
League of Legends, those kind of games are making insane amount of money.
Wow.
But again, I mean, Fortnite's a big example. But again, I would like to see the breakdown of how many of those of it is free. How many free to play games is it versus how many like non free to play games? Like Red Dead Redemption made a huge chunk of money, 500 plus million, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you have a billion free to play games out there making $1, then free to play games have already made more money than Red Dead Redemption. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the Agent X is saying, I'd be curious if that includes free to play mobile. I'm not sure. I clicked on the source here. This is the market brief from Superdata Research. Let's see. Free to play titles amassed 80%.
Asian mobile games helped the region.
So
Yes.
they did include
Yes.
mobiles.
So mobile games are included in this.
While North
But
America.
yeah, we are talking about a huge share of the market. But it does show that, you know, mobile games or free to play games are a huge share of the market. People are spending money on them. Like that's just what is happening.
Yeah.
But of course, a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 is still comparatively making a lot of money to other standalone games, unless you're Fortnite or like League of Legends.
What's GVC? General Video. What is GVC? It says GVC earned $5.2 billion as viewership hit 850 million unique viewers. Popular streamers like Ninja introduced GVC to new audiences as Fortnite impacted how games are watched as much as they are played.
I don't know what GVC is.
GVC.
Am I ignorant?
What is GVC?
Okay, it's a company.
Grandview College? No, that's not what it is.
It's a gambling company.
Is an online gambling?
Subsidiaries are E. No, subsidiaries not EA.
GVC
AG.
Holdings PLC is a gambling and online gambling operator in business to consumer and business to business markets. Scroll right on previous page. Oh, here, GVC Holdings.
Yeah.
Is a gambling and online, blah, blah, blah. Has 4 business segments with a number of brands, including sports labels, game labels. What? What is this? This is like totally new to me. People also searched EA, Glue Mobile, and Take-Two Interactive.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
We're gonna have to do some research about this, boys.
Yeah, this is like finding out about Tencent.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Let's go on their website, see what the fuck. Actually, their Wikipedia is probably better. Let's see, including sports labels, game labels, Party Poker, Party Casino, Foxy Bingo, Foxy Casino. Oh, okay. So these are. So I guess one of his largest advertisers or sponsors is GVC Holdings, is what's happening. So he's introduced which is fucking
introducing kids to gambling.
How unethical is that, dude? Holy shit, dude. Is that? Kids are watching you. It's like Jake Paul, Logan Paul shit, dude. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything here that they acquired Bwin Party Digital Entertainment in 2016 for 1.1 billion euros, which holy shit. Yeah, this is just a large gambling company. That's all it is. And they make mobile games. Last sentence in the history. In July 2018, the UK owners of Ladbrokes and Coral agreed a $200 million deal with MGM Resorts to capitalize on the newly liberated US sports betting market. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what all this means. This is very it's scary though.
Yeah, it has I'm trying to figure out the connection between Ninja, but it's not direct.
Let's see. Popular introduced GVC to new audiences. We're doing some research here on the fly, guys. So, Ninja and GVC partner.
Yeah, because he's not partnered with them that I can find out.
Ninja partners with Red Bull, Fortnite, no. Ninja's biggest
That's
announcement, no. Global value chains, yeah, no, I don't see anything about GVC and.
Mm-mm. So I'm not sure. We'll have to look into that and maybe do a update next week.
Oh, Kaiser says it's the gambling company that pays Twitch streamers to play while streaming.
Does Ninja play it while streaming?
Ninja, Twitch.
I've looked.
Yeah, it's hard. First official stream. No, it doesn't say. Does Drake?
We'd have to know the game at this point. But yeah.
Apparently, there's something that we don't know because this article is talking about.
That's obvious, John. When's that? That's new.
Well, Super Data knows about it, so that means it's public knowledge. But Ninja and GVC are popular streamers like Ninja are introduced GVC to new audiences as Fortnite impacted how games are watched.
I don't like how, especially for something that's being a study, I don't like how it says popular streamers like Ninja, because that's vague enough to say, oh, we didn't say Ninja. We were just using that to paint a picture of what a popular streamer is. So it's not necessarily that it's Ninja, because the verbiage they use could just mean, hey, some big streamers are being paid by GVC to play their gambling. Not necessarily Ninja, but big streamers like Ninja. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, if you guys know anything in chat, maybe we'll talk about it next week, but I really cannot find anything that has to do with GVC and streamers.
Not quick enough. Anyway.
Not quick enough.
I'm sure we're finding it to give us like a couple hours or something to research.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm typing GVC streamers, GVC Ninja, and I'm not finding out where this $5.2 billion came from. But yeah, that's it. Scary money being tossed around. Remember when fucking it was just Super Mario? And now look at this shit, dude. This is a whole new world, dude. Here, Kaiser found something. Business overview, our brands.
These are just the brands that they own.
Okay.
God, that gives us something to go off of.
Okay, yeah. So that makes sense. So some of these brands will be sponsoring the streamers.
Or paying to be played. So it seems like now it does not seem that we can find like a direct connection with GVC and Ninja.
Yeah.
But I don't know of Ninja playing other games other than Fortnite on stream anyway.
bwin is massive in EU, says Kaiser. So bwin is one of Europe's leading online betting brands and is synonymous.
And there definitely are people that play these type of games on streams.
Yeah.
If I watched big streamers more, maybe I would have seen it, but I don't.
So what that report is saying, GVC using these games like Party Casino, Party Poker, blah, 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 those were the ones that are sponsoring the streamers. And those people were playing these games because of the advertisement from the streamers, and that's how they made all that money. It's interesting because it's just it's a bunch of gambling games. Like literally, it's all gambling games. Eurobet, Casino Vegas, Cheeky Bingo. How about Bingo, dude? Fucking classic.
I'll play some Cheeky Bingo, boys.
How about some Bingo, dude? All right, guys. That's it for the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys had a wonderful time. Is there anything we want to plug?
John has been streaming recently.
I'm back
on weekdays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Wow, thanks. I'll pay you after the podcast. I'll Venmo the money and send you dick pics.
Perfect.
But yeah, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to about 6 or 7. I've been playing League, but it doesn't mean I'm a League streamer. Just been playing whatever. I just sign on. Whatever people are playing, I play. So if Czar and my buddies are playing League, I'm like, hey, let's do it. If they're playing Siege with T, I'll play Siege with T, PUBG with Ray, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I just want to have a good time. So other than that, I mean, nothing really changed other than, the podcast. Make sure you guys go and subscribe on iTunes, all that stuff. And make sure you like our videos on YouTube, share them, check them out, all that kind of stuff. You guys are already here in chat watching, but for anybody listening on the podcast, the visual medium is fun too. So put it on TV and you get to watch the articles and look at the stuff that we're looking at. And big ups to all you guys. I got a message from somebody that says that they listen to the podcast and it's the only video game podcast that they listen to. And that, seriously, it warms my heart, man, because Czar and I, we fucking love this podcast, dude. I look forward to it every Sunday, to be honest with you. And every day that I put the news articles, save them, I think about, oh man, this is going to be so fun to talk about. And you guys really make it awesome for us. So love you guys a lot. And I don't want to cry, but I might cry.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Don't cry.
I can't cry. That's right. It's not manly enough to
I'm
cry.
being toxic.
You bastard. So did you throw your Gillette in the toilet?
No, I didn't fucking throw my Gillette in the toilet. That's funny too. Like I get people being upset. I think it's stupid to be that upset because when it boils down to it, they're just fucking trying to get some money out of whatever market. But no, I buy whatever razor's cheap at the time because basically all razors are comparable to me.
Exactly. And that's why you're a man that's a real man, and I'm just a little girl over here with my beard.
Just a little Armenian girl.
Yeah, this is actually, I started growing my beard in protest of Gillette. That's what I did. So
that worked fast.
I was ahead of the curve, dude. Before that ad came out, I was already fucking protesting.
He was ready. He's like, I know some razor company's gonna fuck up.
That's right. And love you guys. Thank you so much. We shall see you guys next week for some more video game news and stuff like that. That's what we like to do. So have a wonderful day. I might play a little bit later, but I'm not sure if I'll stream. But anyway, love you guys. Have a wonderful week. Bye. Czar Salesman.
We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
There's just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away.
It smells like wet dog. We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Six Podcast. There's just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away. So stay woke, stay fresh,